everybody. It is I, the Sorting Sorceress, and I am here to bring you some Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering goodness. I am super excited. I have been anxiously awaiting this product to arrive, and I thought it would be very cool to take you on this journey to Middle-earth with me as we explore the contents of a gift bundle. And if you are relatively new to Magic the Gathering, or even if you've been around for a little while, they've changed what everything is called so many times now that it's a little hard to keep up sometimes. So anybody that's been in the game for a little while now, this might be what we've previously referred to as being a fat pack. They are now referred to as gift bundles. What is really nice about these gift bundles is they come with their own unique little spin down die. So that's kind of a special thing for each set. And you get a handful of booster packs in them. You get one collector booster pack, which I'm not gonna lie, that is the selfish motivation behind what prompted me to purchase this in the first place. And unfortunately, we're a little late to the party and the one of one ring has already been found. So clearly I'm not gonna find that in there. But you never know what you're gonna find. I might get a serialized card. Who knows? But I wanted to take you guys on a little tour of what you will get in one of these boxes. So come along with me and we will explore the contents of the gift bundle. So we're gonna go over down into our close camera here. And I think this is a beautiful box. Look at this. And as I said, it is totally sealed. So we're going to do this from scratch together. I'm going to back myself out here and just chat while I'm kind of cracking into this. So I am super excited about this product. Not necessarily this box in particular, but just Lord of the Rings. Okay, we're big fans. And plus I love magic. So it was like win-win as soon as we found out they were going to do this together. But I thought this would be a great thing to explore together. So in here, once we get our box out of the way, let's see what this is. This is, I don't know, half of
you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. I have things to do. I've put this off for far too long. I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now. I bid you all a very fond farewell. Goodbye.
Classic Bilbo. So just a little box art, little picture. If nothing else, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, like, you have to absolutely love the art that they have got in here. So this is what we get within this package, right? And so previously, if any of you have been in the Magic game for a while, we would have called this a fat pack, right? But now we are calling it the gift bundle. So we're gonna take this lid out of the way here and see what we have inside. So right out of the gates, we have a nice little collector Gandalf card token, as well as just some generic tokens in general. These are nice little cardboard cutouts that I know you can use as alternate emblems for things within the game. They also give you some of these little +1/+1 counters that you can do, because a lot of the cards will have specific abilities on them that will allow your characters to buff up. And then, oh, look at this beautiful golden eagle. Very awesome. And then we also have these little ring emblems, and this is significant because one of the primary things that gameplay that works within this set is the ring tempting you. And I think this is a really cool mechanic that Magic has thrown in there to really give you a feel for Lord of the Rings and what that ring of power does to those that it's interacting with. So it does both really good and potentially really bad things depending on who it's affecting and what's going on in the gameplay. But pretty neat stuff. All right, getting back into our contents. So you'll see in here we have a bundle of packs and a beautiful dice. And this is really, really cool. Okay, now I'm gonna put this down and let's see if we can really, we might need to raise it up a little bit for you to be able to see it. But each one of these packs does come with a little collector dice in it, and which is nice. And so it's a spin down, so you can use this as your life counter. A lot of times people might use these type of dice if you're going to use a planeswalker in your gameplay that's going to potentially buff up to much higher numbers, and so you'll have the spin down on here. And now I have both a pro and a con that I'm going to point out with this, and tell me if you agree with this. But as pretty as this is, and it is themed very nicely with the ring, I think all of the kind of froof on here makes it a little hard to read. And that's a tricky thing with any of these spin down dice, because the fancier you make it in terms of customizing what's going to be printed on it, potentially you make it a little harder to read. Now, I do have to say, in a spin down, it's probably less of an issue because you're not going to be rolling this and like desperately quickly trying to read what it is that you've rolled. That is the unfortunate thing with a lot of the dice sets that you might get if you're going to use different sided dice for like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that, when you're gonna be rolling and looking at what those dice results are, because it can be really tempting to get some of these very pretty and fancied up dice, and then on a functionality side sometimes they can be tough. But for this purpose, I think this is pretty slick. All right, let's get back into the meat and potatoes of what we have going on here. Packs, and this is really what you end up getting these packs for. We're gonna move these off to the side. Look at what we have here. Oh, it's the collector booster. We're gonna do that last, right? But you can see you do get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 regular set boosters. And this is probably an important part where we can talk about what the difference in some of these packs are, right? So you'll note on here that this is a set booster. Primarily in Magic, you will have set boosters and you will have draft boosters. And we will talk about this a lot, a little more specifically in other videos along the way. But it's important to note that for the purpose of what you get in these gift bundle boxes, you are getting set boosters. And so this means the set as a whole has a randomized type of cards in it, and each one of these packs has a certain amount of commons, uncommons, potentially rare and or mythics, and combos of things like that. The draft packs, again, we'll talk about more in depth in different videos, but in draft packs, those are designed specifically to have different variety of cards available in them, and very specifically and deliberately, because they're building those packs for that particular type of gameplay. So where a set booster is probably a little more randomized and is helping you, if you are a neurotic collector, like this girl is, these set booster packs are going to be more the meat and potatoes of your best chance of acquiring all the different types of cards that you have in there, where those draft boosters are designed for specific draft play of Magic the Gathering. All right, enough of that tangent. So getting back to our goodies here. These other two white packages here, you can see we're going to have a collection of land and then a collection of special cards. And so in these packets that come in the gift bundles like this, anything that comes in these white packages are going to be, everybody's going to get these cards when you buy this pack. These are not random. There's nothing new, different, or special that you're going to get in one of these that somebody else that buys the same pack is not going to come up with themselves. So from that standpoint, we're kind of on a level playing field, right, with these. Where we get the variety and the way things can shake out differently for people is what you're going to acquire in these set boosters and in the special collector booster. All right, so let's have a look at what we're gonna get in all of these. So I'm not gonna go through every single card. We will open up each one of these just to kind of fan it out for you so that you see. So in here, this is your land pack. And what I love about this is that especially if you are newer to the game and you need to build your land base to make sure you're going to have the mana that you need to be able to play and build the types of decks that you want, this is a really nice way to go about doing that. And then in this next pack, like I said, you can see we're going to get certain cards that come out of here, and they are looking pretty awesome already. Let's clear some of our stuff out of the way. And let's see. So, oh, look at, we've got very cool Frodo, Sauron's Bane. We've got Samwise the Stout-Hearted. We have got Gollum, Patient Plotter. The One Ring, because of course you're not going to have the game without the One Ring. And then we have more land and their foils, which everything is better in foil. It's pretty much a rule in Magic. It's the rule of cool. And so whenever you can use a foil card in a deck that you're playing, in my opinion, you can't lose, right? It's going to look nicer. It's going to feel special while you're doing it. So when possible, I like to try to foil up the cards that I'm playing with. All right, I will crack open an example of one of these set boosters for us right now, just so that you can get a see. And wow, that is probably the easiest I have ever opened a pack of Magic cards. And now some people are probably screaming at me already for how I'm doing that, because there is, depending on what you're trying to accomplish with the Magic cards that you're getting, whether you are straight up just buying cards to be able to play with them, whether you are buying cards to collect them and try to build on your specific set collection, or just certain kinds of cards that you like and things like that. The way that you handle cards in general is going to be different for everybody and very stylized. If you are coming at this from a standpoint of you are buying these cards to see what kind of value and dollar amount that you get out of these boxes in terms of then trying to go and resell them on a secondary market, the way you handle these cards is going to be very different for you. A lot of people might actually open things using gloves, because the value of your cards is highly specific. We'll probably do another video just talking about what that looks like based on what the corners of your cards look like, whether there is any ding or mark on it, which can just come from the way the pack was packaged. It could come from the way you tore it open, that you might have like ran your fingernail across it and it made a mark on the card. Like all of that can impact what it is that you're doing. But for what I'm doing with this right now, these are purely for my collection and entertainment. They're not going anywhere. So I'm not going to be rough with them. I try to be gentle with everything, and I only play with sleeved cards, but I'm not going to hurry up and throw these in sleeves while we're talking about them. But just things to consider. So one of the things that I love that Magic Wizards has been doing in recent times is they have been putting these art cards in decks. And just look at this. How gorgeous is this? And if you look at these cards, not only are they beautiful, but they're semi-functional too, depending on what you want to do with it and where you're playing and who you're playing with, because you will see that each of these cards on the back of them, it does say what it is a representative of for the specific type of card or a character from one of the cards. Now, depending on which way you're going to play Magic, some of these, and specifically the ones that are alternate arts for land, I like to actually use them. This is not a land, by the way. This is the Witch King. But because these card art pieces are so gorgeous, I like to use these full ones that are representative of land as land substitute in my decks. Again, you can't go and play at a store using them that way. It's not going to be a legal card, but for the purpose of playing Magic at home, or if you're playing Commander with a group of people, it's generally okay to kind of proxy in things. And why not use some of these super gorgeous art cards for that? Just a little tip from me. Okay, so we got an art card. Now, I love these lands. So this is something that they have done with this set that I do think is very cool. So all of the lands that come in the specialty packs. These are not how all lands look in Magic, but the ones that are unique to this set are done in this beautiful map kind of format. So it really feels like Tales of Middle-earth right out of Lord of the Rings, kind of where we are, what's going on. Now, you will see, maybe we'll open a couple more just to kind of look at that. There are some variant in these map ones that may or may not be stylistically important to people or helpful in your gameplay, because some of them, because they are done in the map format, the way the map part looks itself might be a little confusing as to what the card type is. For example, like this one is relatively easy because it was a forest and it's green and it's labeled as forest. Some of the other ones that I have seen, the coloring on the card, like it might be a swamp, but it might be toned in a way that it might look like a forest. So it just something to think of and be careful about when you're doing your deck construction and for gameplay. But you'll see you get a nice little variety of cards in here. And as I mentioned before, you get a variety of commons, which everybody can get. Obviously, the highest percentage of what you're going to pull from packs is going to be commons. They're the least valuable in terms of adding dollar amount price tag to your collection. Then you move into uncommons. Again, they get a little more rare when you get into that level, but still not really things of value. But just look at these beautiful card arts, because we've got Theoden, like the theming of these. I think they just did such a beautiful job. Oh, this is cool. So this is a specific treatment that some of the cards get, and you'll see multiple varieties of these cards as you're opening your packs. So this is the ring frame that you'll see with some of them. And there's been some criticism back and forth in terms of, like, I think these look gorgeous because they're so highly themed with being Lord of the Rings and what we know and have come to love from journeying, to Middle Earth. But because of the way it is a silhouetted art, again, it can be a little confusing, especially if people are playing with multiple copies of different characters and things, that they might just all start looking like a framed circle of a card. So again, just something to kind of keep in mind while you're looking. Oh, look, we got a mythic. So the last march of the Ents. So you'll see here, and again, we will do videos going into more of the specifics calling this out, but our little orange, red or orange symbol in the corner here indicates that this is a mythic card. That is the highest level of rarity in a card without getting into serialized things and whatever. It would be awesome if I pulled something like that to be able to show you guys out of the collector booster, but we shall see. And then this is, you'll see a different symbol altogether. So this has a gold symbol on it. This means this is rare. And you can see as I'm flashing this here that this is a foil, and it is a lovely foil. I personally think white cards in general look the most amazing with the foil treatment. They just capture that flash really nicely. And then each pack generally has one kind of throwaway card in it. It might be a token, which is totally not a throwaway. Maybe we'll find another example of something like that to show you. We'll do one more of these regular packs before we crack on to our collector booster. But yeah, you might get a token card, you might get alternate rules for like a little mini game, and it might just be a throwaway thing that talks about the game of Magic. Oh, look at this. So here's another beautiful full art. So we've got them having the ring in the envelope that was sealed that Gandalf kind of set off to the side for us. We got a regular land, so again, not the map one, and an assortment of our, oh, look at that, the Dunedain blade, very cool. And so these are our commons, and now we move into our uncommons, and that is looking pretty awesome. Oh. Very beautiful. You just have to love the card art on here. And this is, look at this card. This is pretty cool. Whenever you scry, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature. Again, we're going to do specific videos talking about these different card mechanics for people that are very new to the game and want to learn what all of these are about, but helps you kind of determine how you're going to build your decks. Look, an Elf Noble, very cool stuff. Oh, look at this. Oh, I love these full art borderless cards like this. Many pairings. Look at our Frodo and Samwise. How cool. An example of just these alternate card treatments, which you can see the many varieties of different types of cards that you can pull out of these packs. Here's another example of a borderless card, the Voracious Fellbeast. And let's see. Okay, so we got a rare gold seal on here for Forge Anew. Very cool stuff. Oh, look at this. Very nice. Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant. So this is a black foil. So again, as you can see, rarity, anything that you might pull from the foils can be anything from common up to mythic, and obviously the more rare it is when it comes in the foil treatment, the more valuable your card's going to be. And this is kind of extra cool because it is the borderless one. You don't have the frame on the card with the art as well, and it is the foil. And then again, we have a little throwaway on here that pitches Magic Arena. Any of you that don't know about Magic Arena, it is one of the many online formats for you to be able to go and play digitally with Magic the Gathering. All right, so now I think we should crack into that collector booster and see what we get. Obviously, sad face. It's not going to be the 1/1 ring, but wouldn't it be amazing if I got a serialized card? Like, that would make my life. Because truth be told, I will fully admit, I got this gift bundle, like I said, because it did give me a collector booster pack. These are silly expensive. Granted, since the 1/1 has been found now, prices on these are coming down. Maybe we'll see them get down to what a normal collector booster box would cost. And when I say normal, it's still probably a nauseating dollar amount relative to what it is that you might get out of it. We'll do another video on what the difference between each of these type of packs are. Hey, it'll be an excuse for me to buy a collector booster box, right? In the event that I am gonna pull a serialized card out of this, right? Because we're gonna manifest our destiny. I'm gonna actually open this with a pair of scissors. I don't usually do that, but now just because I did that, I definitely will not have something like that in it. But let's pull these cards out and see what we get. Now, really awesome thing about collector boosters is that these are not all foil treatment, but they're going to be special treatments on cards. Each one that you get out of these packs, right? So they will be combinations of foil, alternate art styles, borderless, just different things, all the way up to serialized cards. And so a serialized card has a number associated with the card, meaning that there is only X number of that card that has been produced in this set. So those do come with significant value attached to them. And then, of course, the gimmick with this set was that 1/1 ring, literally there was one copy of the one ring in Elven. It looked really sweet. It was foil, full art. It's been found, sadly. So we know we're not going to get that. But let's look at this together. And we're going to use this box as a little extra height for us so you guys can see these cards a little better. All right. So first thing I have here is a full foil. So very nice. Love that. Next, we've got Lorien Revealed. So another foil card. Very cool. Eagles of the North. Gotta love the Eagles, man. Anytime they come in makes it extra special, right? An Oliphant. Come on, who doesn't love an Oliphant? And now we've got Surrounded by Orcs. Nasty orcs. Entdrot Basin. Love that. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Ooh, okay. So this we had gotten in one of the other packs that I opened to begin with. So now we have both a foil treatment and a non-foil treatment of that card. Very cool. Ooh, okay. Here we go. This is a perfect example. It's like I planned this. I wish I could say I did it on purpose, but I did not. Let's see if I can find that land real quick so I can show you guys. So here we go. This is a really good example of what I was talking about with the map treatment on these lands, right? So you can see here that this one is the forest and this one is the plains, and it is a foil plains on top of it. So it does kind of catch the light differently, you know, as we move it, but you'll note on here that they have that kind of, they're both greenish, right? So do watch that when you're doing your deck construction because it could be confusing depending on what it is that you're running. All right, what do we have here? Rangers of Ithilien. Very cool. So that one is a rare and foil. Ooh, very nice. So we've got a borderless elven chorus. So that is a rare. I like it. Gotta love the art. I gotta love the art. Ooh, what do we have here? Mary. Oh, very nice. And you know, all of these cards, especially with the beloved characters that we love, have many different art styles in here. So it is very cool as you're cracking these packs that you're going to come across different versions of the favorite characters of yours. Oh, and Nazgul. Okay, see, we've already won here. So if you guys have been watching anything opening these packs, bring myself back up here. Anybody opening any of these packs, the Nazgul are where it's at in terms of deck construction. If you're going to be running a Saruman army, you're going to want to be running these Nazgul, and they are a 1/2 with Death Touch, which that by itself doesn't sound like that cool or a powerful thing, but it really is. And you'll notice a little exception rule down here, which is a deck can have up to 9 cards named the Nazgul. Now, why this is important is, and again, basic rules of Magic 101 here. In typical deck construction, you can only run a max of 4 copies of a single card in your deck, meaning you can, you know, that's not counting your regular lands and things like that. But if this was not a Nazgul card, like let's bring back our last card here with Mary. So if we were building our deck and we were wanting to run multiple copies of Mary in the deck, the max we could be running at any given time would be 4 copies of him. So this becomes unique and special with these Nazgul because they get really crazy in that you can have up to 9 of them in there. So Death Touch is already a problem in terms of what might go on out on the table. And you'll see it's got, whenever the ring tempts you, put a +1/+1 counter on each wraith that you control. So this gets out of control super fast. It's very fun. That is very cool. And what's really crazy is that the Nazgul are just a uncommon in this. So they're not even a rare or even a mythic. So you would think you would come upon these more often than we're really seeing people do it. So that's why I do have 2 boxes, regular set booster boxes coming in hopes that we can get some multiple copies of Nazgul, but people haven't been opening a whole lot of them. And I can tell you, I play on Arena, and I opened a significant amount of packs on Arena, and it didn't come up with a tremendous amount of them on there either, which is kind of very interesting to me. But it's very cool that we got one here. All right, let's see what else we got here. We have Shards of Narsil. Oh, very cool. So we've got a mythic artifact, and it is borderless, which I absolutely love. Okay, we've got the Knights of Dol Amroth. Very cool. These borderless cards, I think, are where it's at in terms of making this artwork look super beautiful. Mirkwood Bats in foil and borderless. It's very nice. Gotta love the shiny. Oh, look at this. And our last card we got in here, it is rare, and it is in the ring treatment. And you'll see, you know, our characters are on there. So this is Boromir, and it's silhouette style. So like I said, this has been kind of a, I don't want to say love it, hate it kind of thing with these cards, because I do think they're very beautiful, but it's like when you put them in the ring treatment of the style, you see less of the character. There are actually a couple of them where it's almost indistinguishable who the character was. And especially if you're at all like me and probably need to go get your eyes checked again, when the person you're playing against across the table produces something like that, that you're already maybe having a little trouble being able to read what the card says. We rely a lot on what the picture is to be able to go, oh yeah, that's that card. Now when we add this beautiful ring treatment to it, they all just look like a bunch of circles on the board. So do kind of have to be careful with that. But this is what you get in a gift bundle. So didn't get any serialized cards, obviously didn't get a one ring, but I am very happy with what we pulled out of there. And the fact that I got a Nazgul in this pack is a win already. But thanks very much for sharing our little mini journey to Middle Earth with our pack. I'll be back for more with Magic the Gathering and all of my sorting glory to go over with you guys. Don't forget to like and follow us if you haven't already. And there'll be lots more coming to Other Realms with Magic content and much more. So stay tuned for that. And I will see you in the next one.